Before we dive into the world of Middle-earth, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more engaging content. As a die-hard fan of all things Middle-earth, uh, I've spent countless hours immersed in J.R.R. Tolkien's epic tales since I was but a wee hobbitling. So when it comes to the extended versions of The Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies, I can confidently say that they are not just worth it, but essential viewing for any fan worthy of their elven sword. Peter Jackson's renditions of JR uh, are Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings are widely regarded as some of the greatest films ever produced. Upon their release in the early 2000s, they quickly gained widespread acclaim for their expansive scale, accurate portrayal of the original material, and the innovative use of technology and visual effects during production. Over the years, the series has only grown in popularity, earning the status of modern classics across the board. Yet, as one embarks on watching this epic trilogy, a question arises for both new and longtime fans. Should they opt for the theatrical versions or the extended editions? The expanded versions of the Lord of the Rings movies, initially released on DVD approximately a year following each film's theater debut, are considered the ultimate way to watch these films on screen. Many dedicated and casual fans often choose the extended editions over the original releases more frequently. Here's what sets the extended versions of The Lord of the Rings apart. The extended editions of The Lord of the Rings trilogy are significantly longer than their theatrical counterparts. The gap in runtime between the theatrical and extended versions of The Lord of the Rings can be quite substantial. However, when you're preparing for a marathon viewing session of 3 hours either way, is this difference really that significant? The amount of material added to the extended editions varies from film to film. For example, despite the theatrical cuts of The Fellowship of the Ring and The Two Towers being essentially the same length, 30 additional minutes were added to Fellowship. In comparison, The Two Towers has about 45 minutes of new material. The most significant addition comes in The Return of the King, which has nearly an hour of new material in the extended cut. The extended version of The Fellowship of the Ring features roughly a dozen additional complete scenes that weren't part of the movie's initial theatrical release. Among these notable new additions and extensions are an extended introduction to the Shire, a scene with the hobbits singing, drinking, and discussing the big folk at the Green Dragon Pug in Hobbiton, and a depiction of Aragorn visiting his mother's memorial in Arendelle. The extended version of The Two Towers includes approximately 15 fresh sequences and close to 20 expanded ones. These new elements significantly enrich the movie by providing a deeper insight into the Rohirrim and their traditions, furthering Aragorn's path towards becoming the King of Gondor, offering additional background on the Ents and Fangorn Forest, and enhancing the grandeur of the Battle of Helm's Deep. The extended version of The Return of the King includes several noteworthy enhancements. Approximately 15 new scenes and around 24 extended sequences were added. However, some of the scenes in the extended cut of The Return of the King are so crucial to the story that it's puzzling why they were omitted initially. The extended versions of the Hobbit films may not receive as much acclaim or fanfare as the Lord of the Rings movies, but they were still appreciated for their stunning visuals and expanding on J.R.R. Soule in Tolkien's fantasy world. Similar to the Lord of the Rings films, the Hobbit series also had extended cuts released, but the added content wasn't quite as extensive. Are the extended Lord of the Rings movies worth it? Discussing the impact of watching The Lord of the Rings, it's noticeable that the experience alters considerably when opting for the extended versions over the original releases. While the theatrical versions remain exceptional, the extended editions enhance the narrative by offering additional context and aesthetic elements, thereby enriching the overall value of the trilogy. Viewing extended versions will tack on approximately 2 additional hours to your 9-hour cinematic voyage through The Lord of the Rings, but those extra hours prove worthwhile. They are brimming with the same exceptional quality as the original films, and often these additions serve to enhance what was already present, making the narrative and characters even more captivating than before. In essence, whether you're a devoted fan or a casual observer, the extended editions of The Lord of the Rings offer the most authentic way to immerse yourself in Tolkien's legendary tale on screen. And remember, if you're not watching the extended editions, you're just a hobbit without a sword. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.